Good morning and welcome to the Global Conference on Educational Leadership, International Conference on Global Educational Leadership. Welcome all participants, welcome guest of honors for the day. And today's day is very special. We have a special guest of honors, we have special participants also, and also many more to come. Now let me talk about today's conference. It's the Global Educational Leadership Conference, which we have decided to conduct for the year 2020, the month of Feb 27. So the day is very precious and the time is also very valuable. Today we are having four events which are going on. The first will be of the conference, second will be of presentation by eminent personalities and those who are from the abroad also. Then we have a ISBN number book publication, and after that the award ceremony. So these are the four things which were covered today. So this Global Educational Leadership Conference will provide the variety of panel discussions, paper presentations, award ceremony, and the best strategy which we are going to learn from the eminent guest of honors for the day. The theme of this conference is Sailing to Educational Success, how the educational success can be achieved. You will all will agree with us that yes, there is a gap between the what industry is required and what education is delivering. So let us fill up the gap and let our our students make industry ready. Sub-theme of the conference is new trends, emerging technology, innovative technique, teaching pedagogy, then future of education and research in education, post-pandemic, how research has evolved and how research has changed its dimension, transforming lives and societies, online education, distance education. They have made a different platform, as well as they have made created a niche market in the entire education sector. And the most important is skilling, upskilling, reskilling, and super skilling of professional. Yes, we are having a skilled professionals in the industry. We have to take them from skilling to upskilling. If they are upskill, then reskill with a variety of different domains, and then make them a super skill and make them a job ready professionals. So welcome for the today's function. Let me introduce the guest of honor for the day. We have three guests of honors: Dr. P. Punit Kumar Trivedi, Dr. P.K. Pramod Kumar Rajput, and Jaikar Sayaraj. Let me one by one introduce Dr. P.K. Trivedi. He is the Group Director of MGI Indore. Earlier, he was the CEO of Attitudinal Incubation Center, PIF Indore, and was faculty at PIMI Indore, area specialized with accounting, finance, and entrepreneurship. He is a PhD supervisor at ICFI University, Jharkhand, and Pacific University, Udaipur. He is also a resource person and technical session chairman in various UGC-sponsored national conferences, coordinated a series of faculty development programs for 5 months on recent trends in teaching pedagogies and research methodology. He has chaired technical session at Central India Management Conclave, Nagpur, vice chair technical session at RDA Jaipur, coordinated project manager. Dr. P.K. Trivedi is heading the project called as Guinness World Records 2014. He has been awarded by Governor twice for entrepreneurship and one by CM Madhya Pradesh for Swachh Indore brand ambassador. Now, welcome Dr. P.K. Trivedi sir, and over to you.
Thank you, Kumar ji. A very good morning to all eminent personalities over here. Dr. P.K. Rajput ji, Dr. Jaikar ji, Mr. Johnson, Dr. Ravi, other eminent personalities of this wonderful conference. The topic chosen, really it is very innovative, and it's a need of our to discuss how we are going to sail this education and how you are going to mark a dent in the universe through innovative practices. Of course, yes, we have seen the pandemic, and after the pandemic, the drastic change in education system. Just now we were discussing informally, but now the basic and the major focus should be on innovation. It is very clear that if we are able to introduce innovative practices in education, we can change the recent teaching pedagogies, and we can attract students also. Initially, there will be some problem. We are facing also, some of the institutions are facing, not some, maximum institutions are facing the problem. But after some time, it will become the practice, and we can prove that yes, this is the future of the country, future of the world, future of the education system. We have seen government is coming up with very innovative, I must say, ecosystem from KG to PhD. And in KG to PhD, what they're doing, they are introducing innovative practices through different government grants to motivate educational institutions, even from the primary level, pre-primary level, PG level, and even up to the doctorates and postdocs. And that is because I'm also part of the Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog. I'm the mentor of change. So there I'm seeing that how Niti Aayog is contributing a lot to nurture our schools and making them, the future startup owners, grooming them like a future startup owners. I want to quote the Atal Tinkering Labs, ATLs. And ATLs are playing very vital role in this current, innovative India, where students, our kids are learning robotics in the school. They're learning Python. And we were never thought of that in our schools, our kids can learn these things at this very basic level. But now through robotics and all, they are going to, become the innovators, and actually the country is in need of innovators for future of India. Coming to college level, we have seen AICT has recently introduced 2 years back a very innovative program, and it is must for all the institutions to adopt it. It is IIC, Institute Innovation Councils. MHRD, now Ministry of Education, they have introduced MHRD Innovation Cell, that is now MOC Innovation Cell, MIC, where students in the colleges, junior colleges or degree colleges, they can plan their startup, they can work on their ideas, and AICT has given a calendar of activities by which they can become innovators. If just they are following the calendar, if just they are conducting the activities as per the calendar, they will develop that mindset of innovatorship, and they can become innovators. They can have their own startups. They can plan their own startups. Coming to at the very premium, you can say the final stage of the college level, and when we are about to come to the industry for jobs, for becoming, professionals, or for becoming job providers. That means if you have chosen your career as an entrepreneur, in that case, again, one more innovative, thing government have done, that is AIC, Atal Incubation Centers. They have chosen some around 80, 85 institutions throughout the country. They have given 10 CRs of grant to them to nurture the startup ecosystem in their local area. They have chosen all the, sectors like agriculture, pharma, medical, e-commerce, IT, each and every sector, textile. So they have chosen each and every sector, or you can say the ministries. They are driven by the ministries. So it's the problem statement of the ministry, or you can say the problem statement of the industry. It go via the ministry, and under the flagship of AIC's Attitudinal Incubation Centers, the startups can work on those problems. They can suggest the problems, solution to those problems at very cheap cost, and industry can get benefited out of it. Earlier we used to have that you were buying this solution from outside, or very costly, very costly affair for us. But now our own kids, they are giving solution to very big problems. I was attending one of the program of Atal New India Challenge, which was of Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India, and we were scrutinizing the ideas by the students for agriculture, and where we find very cheap and best ideas which can be easily implemented at very low cost, and we can be the industry can be benefited out of it. So this is the scenario changing now, and we are adopting. So now there's the ecosystem from school to college, and even after that. Earlier there was a vacuum. At the school level, we were not having that any innovation or any robotics class, or any Python class and all these. We don't have the Atal tinkering labs. In indoor ecosystem, I have seen ATLs are performing well. They're doing great in clean tech ideas, because Indore is known as the cleanest city of India. So we have seen many students, they have suggested very wonderful ideas for cleaning the Khan River of Indore, for sweeping of road corners, for sensor-based technology for dustbins, and many more innovative things that they have suggested. So this is the new technology, or innovation-based technology, going to play a very vital role, and we have to accept it. So our education system should be the same trend. And when now we are having the ecosystem from student, or you can say school level to college level, and even after that. So innovation is the future of the country, and through innovations we can sail, and we can become the number one. Like we have seen, there's a huge market. India is a very huge market, and there's a great possibilities and scope, opportunities in the field of toy making. After the sanctions of some of the countries, now toy making is becoming very very scope, has very great scope, very huge opportunity in the field of toy making. And ATLs and Atal Incubation Centers can play, with the help of institute, with e-cells and startup cells, IICs. They can play a very vital role in this toy technology, and we can provide, we can become the great country, a big country of manufacturing of these toys. Recently, AICT has done the toy-thon to have great ideas from the students. We have got very great ideas, and now we are moving ahead. So the central idea is we have to inculcate innovation, entrepreneurship, startup culture, good mindset in our students, with very practical approach, not only theoretical approach. Students are not attending the class because we are only focusing more and more on theoretical approach. If there is a practical approach, like Dr. P.K. Rajputji is here, we can have students industry visit to Cadilla. We can have a visit to some other companies also, where they can practically get exposure about how the things are going on, and it is the need of our. So my message to all the participants, that we have to be very focused and practical oriented with the mindset of innovation, entrepreneurship, and to promote the startup culture in local ecosystem, to find the local problems, societal problems, local problems, and to have solution for those in our local ecosystem. And that will be the only way to sell education, because education is everything. If we are able to produce good people, they can be good leaders, they can be good managers, they can be good teachers, they can be good innovators. So it is the need of hour, and we have to accept it. Being an academician, I think it is my prime responsibility for the nation building. I hope my message will be going in the right way to all the participants and teachers and all the managers. And we all are going to contribute for the nation building. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. P.K. Punit Kumar Trivedi, sir. It's really a great thought from your side. Definitely, people work on incubation, innovation, as well as developing the new entrepreneurship in the entire society. Definitely, it works. We request that all the participants, whenever it is possible, include or evolve any type of entrepreneurship cell at your areas so that these things can be implemented very well. Thank you very much on the behalf of Best Projects, and thank you very much on behalf of Global Educational Leadership Conference. Thank you so much. Now it's time to welcome the second personality, or second best personality from the industry, Dr. P.K. Rajput. Pramod Kumar Rajput, sir, is a seasoned corporate professional with a rich experience of over 40 years in pharmaceutical and healthcare, sales and marketing, while working as a vertical head and senior vice president in Cadila Pharma Limited, an Indian multinational leading pharma company based at Ahmedabad, India. He completed his MBA Marketing and Executive Leadership Development Program from IIM Ahmedabad and having 7 honorary doctorate in various segments. He is an ex-committee member of MSME Chamber of Commerce and Industry of India in education sector. He also did 24 certificate courses from all leading international universities across the world and completed diploma in NLP, that is Neuro-Linguistic Program from American Board of NLP, and a certified soft skill professional from International Association of Soft Skill Trainer. Welcome, sir. He has launched many brands, divisions, and converted them as a blockbuster brands and around arrowhead divisions in organization from acute to chronic therapy. Welcome on the behalf of the entire Best Projects team, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the eminent personalities who are attending such a wonderful program. So on the behalf of Global Educational Leadership, and also my sincere thanks to Dr. Kumar Dutt for inviting me along with Dr. Puneet Sahab, along with Jaikar Sahab, and along with such a beautiful and eminent people who are the trendsetter in the education system. So being I am a professional, so I will talk on I have picked up, I just writing a couple of the points from Dr. Puneet Sahab, Professor Puneet Sahab, who has told about the thing. It is like practical approach, it is like entrepreneurship requirement, it is for the innovation part. So I'm just writing down a couple of the points, and I'll speak on that because what is the practical requirement is there. I'm sure you all, we all, not you all, we all will agree on a very important point. Today, the competition is basically on the skills which is required. So the era has been changed. So skills acquired versus skills required. We acquire the skills by learning, while digital way and all. But what the skills are required in that, which is more important. Second important thing is, today the competition is out of the box thinking. Today the competition is of creativity. Today the competition is basically on how to make the difference in that. And that's why we always say, be a job provider instead of a job seeker. That is the right part of the entrepreneurship. It is not that you have 100 people working under you. If you are able to provide the job to the 2 people also, that you become an entrepreneur, small scale entrepreneur. And that is the reason Government of India is promoting MSMEs, and they are giving so much of the money also so that you start putting the thing. So these are the basic requirements are there, which is there. Now, I will come to the other important thing that in this education system, if we talk, how skills has to be developed. This is one of the very important points, that the development of the skills can only happen when there will be a practical approach. So we fully agree that any of the organization, either it is a pharmaceutical industry or either the engineering industry or any of the industry, they will like to give internship for the young students so that they should understand the nitty-gritties of the things, which is very important. Because when they will be able to understand the nitty-gritties, their emotional intelligence level will go up. And the emotional intelligence level is a basic requirement. How to deal with the seniors, how to deal with the peer group, how to deal with the colleagues, and how to understand the things, which is very important for their development. Today, the scenario is the people, they work for 2 years of time, they start leaving the organization, right? But I say when you start learning and you start contributing in the organization, wherever you work, organization requires a people, and they will be start building themselves and they will start growing in that. This is one very, very important thing which I keep on talking on this. Second thing is the value system. We have to have a beautiful value system. We should be having the integrity, trustworthiness, which is again a very important part, because this is, you can't learn. It has to be practiced. You can't learn. A professor can't tell you that you should be trustworthy. It will come from your own side, right? It has to be from your internal things. And it is a value system which has to be integrated. The third important point is the utilization of the digital era. Today, I can say it's a blessing in the disguise that Corona has come, and the Corona has taught us that yes, we can utilize this technology. Technology was there earlier, but we are not using it. Today, the people have joined from different parts of the world. Today, we are available only on the fingertip. We can learn so many of the things. So technology is a god and the data is the king, which is very important. And this we have realized in this thing. So how to use the technology? Now I'm coming to the completely on the college point of view. College point of view, why digital part is important apart from the practical thing. So I'm just starting a couple of things. There's a two segmentation is there, exploration and exploitation. So how you are going to explore that digital funda and how you are going to put it in terms of building the thing which is required. Because when a student is in the college, he or she is understanding the things, learning the things. But the person, when he comes out from the college, he has to explore whatever the learning is there, and then he has to inculcate that learning should come toward the practical side. This is point number one. Second thing is, now there is a customer-based marketing. It is not a general marketing like that. Nobody sees the TV now. Earlier, Colgate ad used to come every 15 minutes in every TV channel. Today, you find that ad is not there because the cost of the ad is very, very high. The digital marketing technology has given the thing. Now you are working on SEOs, search engine optimization. So the person should be very clear about it, that how he is going to add value. If you put in something on the Google, that whether your name is coming in top 3 or not, which is again a requirement, that is a digital requirement is there. So it will not be on the physical part. Then the mind and the innovation and things is going to work on that. The third is attitudinal segmentation. Again, these are the, in attitudinal segmentation, what is required? It is a knowledge about the customer, right? Because when you are coming out and you are becoming a professional, whatever the industry which you are joining, you should know the different segmentation of the customer. You should understand that which type of the customer you have. So that is point number one. Second thing is transition and transactional seeker. Transition means from your current situation to the situation where you are there. And second point is with that, it is a transactional also, because if you are able to inculcate transition and transactional, you will be able to upgrade yourself. You will be able to ensure the success is going to come. Third point is relationship seeker. This I already spoke on the very important point, emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence, this is a very, very important point, because when you start respecting, when you start listening, when you start understanding, when you start putting yourself in the other person's shoes, then you will be able to get the success. It is again very important, because these are the things are there which an education institute should start inculcating. And I'm sure that Dr. Kumar must be teaching this thing and must be guiding to the other people that it is the requirement, it is the need of the hour. Then independent, being independent, do always be a pillar. I always say, never be a puller. So whenever you are joining, when you're coming out from the college and we are joining any of the industry, you have to be as a contributor. And how a contributor? A pillar. It is not you should be a main pillar. You should be a small pillar, but you have to be a pillar because you are going to contribute. So a person has to understand that yes, how we are able to develop them in terms of becoming a contributor. Now, we are talking about the innovation part. I was just writing a couple of things when Professor Puneet sir was writing that what innovation makes a difference. There are the 5 things are there which is really going to make a difference. And this I like to highlight in the innovation part. First is the collaboration. One must learn how to collaborate with other people. This is the part of the innovation. Because innovation says that different people has to be collaborated together to have a common goal and common result. Second thing is ideation. Because I told there is a competition of creativity and people are wise. But if you have ideation, you will be able to succeed other. Third is implementation. Only giving the idea is not going to make a difference. Implementation is a part and parcel of the thing, and that too with the timelines. Because in the marketing, right, we always say whatever the ideas there, whatever the action plans are there, there has to be a timeline, there has to be monitoring, there has to be revisit on that. Then only you'll be able to understand the thing, which is very, very important from a college side, from a student side, and to become a good professional. Then results. That's what the action and the result. Then one very important point which I like to highlight, last point, which is the listening and speaking. Because people, they only hear. People, they only hear. And if you hear, you forget. If you listen, you understand. And when you listen, then the words which comes from your mouth, because again, this is a part of emotional intelligence. On the words which comes from your mouth, the way you communicate it, it will be completely, fully filled with that thought process, which is very important. So as a professional leaders or as education people, we should be inculcating these ideas because these ideas is the need of our technology, utilization, how to build the things, how to ensure the things, how to have the emotional intelligence, how to have the competition of the creativity, wisemanship, out of the box thinking. These are the need of the hour. And I'm sure the people who are joining, who have joined here, who are listening here, they will also fully agree with me that this is the real need of our. Not last but not the least, of course, internship in the different institute is must, because unless and until the people will not go out of their box, so the creativity, ideation, new thinking will not come. And it is very, very important for us as a marketeer or the different people that we should give an opportunity to the student to come there in their particular areas, learn the things. Mistake will happen, not an issue. We all have done mistake in our life, and that is the reason today we are here. So with being able to improve it, we'll be able to do the wonder which is required. With this, thank you so much. These are my thought processes are there, which I thought I will put it on such a wonderful platform, which everybody will hear and listen. Thank you, Dr. Kumar Das sir, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Puneet, for setting the context, because with that context, I have picked up a couple of things which I have just propagated here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, your thought-provoking words really helps a lot. A practical approach, you touch each and every aspect where students need to learn from all the angles. Moreover, your focus is on that the practical things should be learned, innovation, incubation, practicality. Definitely, it will help. What I request you that after this program, the entire recording will be posted on social media. Just share whenever it is possible, because really people missing it. Today also we have got 3-4 calls that we are missing this. So let us hope that these things will be implemented soon. Thank you very much. Thank you from the behalf of Best Tech, and thank you on behalf of Global Leadership Conclave Conference 2020-22. Thank you, sir. We have the next eminent personality, guest of honor for the day, Jaikar Sairaj. Jaikar Sairaj is the head of the Department of French, FAIPS, DPS from Kuwait. He has more than 26 years of teaching experience. He served as a member of Board of Studies at various colleges and universities in Tamil Nadu. He has designed curriculum for French for UG program for various colleges and universities in India and abroad. Worked as an external examiner for French for various universities. Worked as an external exam for French, IGCS, IGCSE, ED, Excel exam at British Council, Kuwait since 2013. Jacob worked as a person in charge at Alliance Francis of Madras, Coimbatore branch and Madurai branch. He has worked and with various colleges and universities and organized many cultural activities in India and Kuwait. Welcome on the behalf of Best Projects and welcome on the behalf of Global Educational Conference 2022. Welcome, sir, and over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon to all the eminent personalities who are on the, this platform today. Okay, I would like to just being educationalist, let me just talk about a little bit of the online education, which has transformed what we call it as the phase, the entire education system drastically. It has changed. And thanks to this pandemic, like before, even though it is online education was available, and because of this pandemic, at least, we could see all the institutions, no matter what type of institution it is, they all have explored and has become a part of this online platform. And they have utilized it, to teach various skills. Now, no one can ever say I was not given a chance, or I didn't get a chance to learn these skills, or these programs. So now if it is available to each and every one, because anyone from any part of the world, whether you are from a rural or you are from an urban place, like you have as long as you have a mobile phone and an internet with you, you can access any institutions and any subject that you want. And it has also empowered individuals to seek, to receive, and to impart information. We never even thought about we could connect with anyone from around the world, at least through different online platforms, to share ideas like we are doing now. It was it has become a reality for the past 2.5 years. And one of these things in the online education, and what we have started now, it is going to stay forever. That's what we feel, at least, it is not going to go away. And maybe there will be a lot of transformations. We look forward to a lot of transformations are going to come. At least there are a lot of creative ideas are coming up, actually. So, and to make it more interesting. And there will be, a learning process. It is going to be like a hybrid. It is going to involve offline as well as online learning. And because online learning has so many advantages, and I'm going to just highlight few of those advantages, and what are those challenges we have as well. As a matter of fact, at least, this online education has been received by everyone in the society, whether it is the parent community or, most part of the students community, I would say, as well as all the institutions have welcomed it and adapted themselves to this online education. Before, of course, e-learning was available, but now this pandemic has made everyone to explore. Even if you want to do, I would say, even from my own personal experience, I was able to access to many courses, like around the 40 to 50 certificate courses I was able to do with some of the institutions in France and UK and US, which I was not able to do before. So thanks to this, online learning, and we could do access all these best universities as well. One of the advantages you have, it is in the online learning, you would see, it is the time flexibility. You can always have a flexible time. You can do it from the comfort of your house, as well as you can do it whenever you find time. There is no restrictions, you have to do within that 4 hours or 5 hours of learning in a day. So you can, always, time management, it's very important in this. You will also learn this time management, how to schedule, at least, either it is half an hour a day, or if you can put in more hours, at least a day or a week, so that you can finish that. because one of the other advantage you'll find it is you have an, as I've told you, addressed before, like you have an easy access to variety of courses. You have like a buffet of courses which are before you. So you can choose the one that you need, at least that is needed for your professional career, as well as that is needed for you, at least to develop your skills. Because right now, at least, these 2.5 years that this pandemic also exposed the skills that are needed actually. So, every company, at least every person, every, employee would have understood at least he or she has to upskill themselves. They have to learn new skills to survive in this competitive world, because as the world is changing constantly and it's very fast, you need to keep up with that change. Otherwise, I'll be left behind. So I need to just make haste. And there are some courses I needed to explore what I need, which is going to help me in developing my skills as well as developing my career, which will impact the company at least where I work with. Yeah, and you can also have a lot of low cost courses are available, and you can always make a comparison, and you can always learn at your own speed. And you can also learn while working. It doesn't mean like, okay, I'm working so I cannot. No, you can always learn, because there is a beautiful saying, I love that. It says anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or whether at 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is just to keep your mind young. So it means there is no expiry date for learning. Okay, so you can learn till our last breath. So to keep our mind fresh, to keep my creativity active, I would say, so I need to survive in this world. I need to compete in this competitive world. So I need to upgrade myself constantly. I need to do that. There is no second thought about it, because technology is progressing every day and new technologies are being introduced. Say, for example, we never thought when we teach, at least this online education has opened up new avenues or new ways of teaching. I can even take my students on a virtual tour. So on the topic, say, for example, if I want to present something, about the monuments in France, I can take them on a virtual tour, right there to France in Paris, and I can just take them around all those places. So it is like, we can even be a part of, like, the students will feel as if they are there very much, and they can just learn it, in an effective way, because before it was not possible, because before they have to learn from the book, or they may have to travel to that place, one day at least may happen or may not happen. But, but now they have an access to that. So, and you have this artificial intelligence has made teaching as, new, very interesting ways. You have a lot of interactive ways, or interactive lessons can be done, and you can even just make learning becomes very not one day of fun at least, and love to, and each student will love to learn now. Yeah, because there is no before there was a gap between skilled workers and unskilled workers. Now for at least this online learning, it's always like it is going to remove the gap, at least because it's also will allow others to upskill themselves constantly. And one of the things we need to understand, it is constant learning. It is the paradigm shift the education sector it's facing right now. So we need to acquire new knowledge and skills. That is very much needed, and we need to do it on a daily scale. So, and also here you can make learning very personal. So you have a personalized learning path. It is something what we call it as a learner-centric approach that emphasize a learner's ability to grasp the lesson in a learner-friendly way. So it means you have each one will have find the right strategy to learn. So each one, they can learn at their own pace, as I told you before. So you can become very personal, at least, each one can relate themselves easily to a particular course and a particular platform, and they can learn quickly. And also, there is another form of learning, at least we find it as it's coming up slowly. It is the social learning. It's a form of an indirect learning. In other words, it's an abstractly learning from others through interactions. Like we are what we are doing, it is of course it's a part of the social learning. Like the eminent personalities, they share from their experience, and when we listen to them, we interact with them, we learn from each other. So that's what we call it as the social learning. It's an indirect learning, at least, through which can be done through these interactions or by just listening to different, personalities on different, the domains. Okay. And also we can have, see, there is a gamified learning, which is we as a language teachers, we usually explore very often, like you can learn through games. So there are a lot of games, like, because one of the things, at least we through online learning, at least we look at, because the students are very much addicted to online games. So now the learning also, what they do, they are coming up with different activities to teach through a lot of games, online games. So that makes it very interesting for the students. Like, they can just explore that. They also can, play those games while learning important concepts. Like, they can play individually, or they can play as a team, so that they can just always have points, and you have, boost, or like, that will help you to just get, rewards. And so they, by doing that, at least they also, like, just work on what, fascinates young people, or what attracts the young people. So just work along that, so that you make, teaching interesting for them, so that no one is left out. Okay. So what I would say, like, as an concluding remark, because, online learning, it's going to stay forever. What we never thought will happen before, and it has become very possible. And because it is very flexible in space and time, and you have can access and track progress, and there is a foster deeper engagement, at least, and a deeper learning. And as Professor John Dominic, the director of the Open University, he said, online genie is out of the bottle, and it is not going to get back in. So it is going to be there, and it's up to each one of us how we explore it, because, it is cost friendly, cost effective, and also you have a lot of advantages are there. I would look at mostly the advantages. Then, of course, there are a lot of challenges we have, but I believe, and I hope, and I'm very of a strong belief, at least, because they are going to come up with a lot of technological advancement, which is going to help us overcome, the challenges that we are facing. Because this last 2 years, we have seen a tremendous, changes have taken place. And, this thanks to this artificial intelligence, and now at least, they can just make, you can create even an avatar, and you can just, like, teach them as if you are there, in that place. At least you take each and every student on a virtual experience and a virtual tour, and which really, at least, was mind-boggling. At least, for us teachers, it is something like, it keeps us, fresh, our minds fresh, at least, because for those who would like to always, like, explore, I would say, like, this is a welcome, and I feel, and I believe, this would transform the whole education in the days to come. Thank you. Thank you to you all.
Thank you very much, Jaikar sir. It's really a wonderful speech from your side. With few points which really we would like to repeat it. One is online learning. Yes, definitely it will be there. Secondly, the genie came out. Yeah, it is came out. It will never go back into the bottle. Yes, online learning will be there. Third thing regarding what you said is what direct learning, indirect learning, and next one, what we'll say, those people who are absent here for the session is called as a no learning. For them, they could not able to understand. So what we request from our side, that after the session, we'll post the entire recording on social platform. Just share with your concerns or your family friends, so that they will also learn what is meant by the exact type of learning and relearning. Thank you very much on the behalf of Best Edutech, and thank you from the Global Educational Leadership Conference 2021. Now it's time to have the panel discussion. I request a participant, those who want to share their ideas, or would like to have their thoughts, or would like to have some question in their mind, they can ask directly. Few names are Jasmine. Jasmine ma'am, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Happy to meet all of you.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one question. Can you please extend a little bit more on AI in the educational system? Implication of the artificial intelligence in the educational system.
Yeah. Punit sir is there. Dr. Punit, would you able to say something on artificial intelligence? How there will be future of AI, or there will be AI will replace us?
Yes, implication, practical implication.
Implications. I think there is a connection issue. We have Jaikar sir. Jaikar sir, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, because we have seen already, like, the influence of artificial intelligence, like, whereas we over here, like, this Gulf, as well as even in Europe and other places, like, they've US, they've already started, because I know, like, even some of our students have come up with in US, there is something called VR system, like, so something like you can create an avatar. And when we teach, actually, just my avatar will, may just take the students to a different places, like giving them a virtual tour and a virtual learning. At least it's happening. Okay, so this is one of the things they have already explored, and it will. It's a matter of time. At least, it will take time. At least, which is be made available to all, each and every one. And of course, it is again, it's a cost. It is a factor right now. But at least that's why I say, like, maybe they will more companies or more people, institutions will come up with some cost-effective methods which will be made available to each and every one. And of course, you have even that's what I say. Like, even there are some applications are available right now. Like, there are, we can see, like, even I think some of them are created by some Indian government, actually. So they can even listen to some of even the radio programs, like, so, or around the world or something like that. You can even just go to any country, any city, and you can just, like, go on a walk, or you can go on on a visit. Actually, they were just like, you are traveling in a car, and you are just looking at the places on that on either side, and like an walking tour, or on a car or a bus tour. It is all possible right now. Okay, there are some applications are made available, and which can be explored as well, depending on each subject. At least, as a teacher, no matter what subject I teach, so whether I teach history, or whether I teach geography, or whether I teach language, so accordingly, maybe we can explore that. So
Fully agree with you, sir. Any question from participant? Johnson George, would you able to hear me?
Yeah, I think all the three participants, all the three speakers, they gave a very good my videos, I think I'm having a problem. That's the reason I'm not putting up. All the three participants, speakers, they give a very good, insightful information on the future of education and future of Indian education as such. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will like to add. If,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
add?
Well, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So, see, AI is going to be a part and parcel of the life, because AI is going to give me an accuracy. Timely things are there, right? But the people will not be replaced, because machine cannot make the things happen. It's the people who work on the technology. People created the technology. It's not the technology created the people. So people are required on that, but skilled people are required to ensure that we can doublify the economical growth, which is the requirement. With after that, the effect will be that the cost optimization will be there, accuracy will be there, timely requirement will be there, and the data will be accurate. But that is the use of the AI. Because I recollect, I had given a talk when along with the one of the very important person at US, because this Dr. Joseph, he had worked with the Mark Zuckerberg, right, on Meta, right, and he was one of his scientists for 3 years. I had given a talk that how Meta is going to make a difference about it, and how we are going to make the difference. So in that, it was clearly mentioned about it that yes, how the things are getting changed and how the things are going to make the thing different. And believe you me, AI is going to be a part and parcel of the life. We are using things, data, and data, and it is going to give lot many virtual things. That's why I have mentioned it, that it is the AR, VR, MR, and leading to the extended reality, which is the need of the hour. And the people have to learn about it, sir. Let me tell you, after 3 years of time, remember my word, 2025, people have to ensure it, because that will be the requirement. We are in the production, we are in the manufacturing, we are in providing the drug delivery system. All these things are a part of the AI, AR, VR, XR. So what Mr. Jacob was telling, that the person sitting here can do the tour on the Paris. I talk about this thing. The person sitting here, he can see the entire heart transplantation, right? Today, earlier the situation was there in the medical college. One body used to come, and the 50 students used to see how there is a dissection is there. Now there is no need of the body coming to the mortuary, right? From the mortuary, anything can be taken care. Believe you me, I was talking about one of the 10th standard school in Dubai, right, which Dr. Pramod Mahajan is heading it. They are doing the complete thing on that. They are teaching the student, the 9th class student has been taught each and every part, dissection, segmentation, everything is there. So this is the requirement of the AI. And AI, we have to learn, we have to understand, we have to be a part of it. Because otherwise, the student is going to be obsolete. We all are changing the things. We all are changing the things. In any of the industry, they are segmentizing themselves in terms of the basic requirements. So what Sabrina ma'am has asked about it, I fully endorse. AI is not going to replace human, but the human has to ensure that they should be technologically more strong to ensure that AI should be implemented properly, completely, fully, totally.
Fully agree with you. A bold statement, a clear statement, and clear vision. What we have seen from Dr. Rajput sir, really inspirational as well as impactful. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Any question from the participants? I hope the entire theme has already been covered, and hope this thing will definitely be there in their mind, and it will be there for years together. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's time to propose the vote of thanks. Let me propose the vote of thanks from the behalf of Best Projects and from the behalf of Global Educational Leadership Conference 2020-22. Thank you very much, Dr. Puneet Kumar Trivedi sir, Dr. P.K. Rajput sir, Kurzera sir. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you soon. Thank you very much. After Miss, right now it's 11:26. At 11:45 we'll start the presentations from those who are ready with their contents and those who are enrolled for the presentation program. Thank you very much. See you soon. Thank you, sir. Welcome back. Very good afternoon and welcome for the session 2. For session 2, we have 2 presentations. One is from Sabrina and second is from Baiju Thomas. Sabrina, madam, are you available online? Sabrina Jasmine. Would you able to unmute yourself? I am allowing you for the presentation. We have Johnson George with us, Jaikar sir with us, PK Rajput sir is with us. Then we have Dr. S. Ravi Kiran is available. Sabrina Jasmine.
Yes, sir. I am attending from Japan. No problem. I can listen everything.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Time for the presentation. You can share your screen if you have prepared any presentation and you can deliver. We are there to hear you. Listen you.
Should I present, sir?
Yeah, please start.
Okay, because I was writing the article, but for the presentation, okay, so please wait. Okay, please wait. Okay.
If you made the presentation, that's okay. Otherwise, also you can orally discuss what points were there as with respect to theme and sub-theme. Theme is educational success. What is required to achieve education success? Sailing to educational success. And there will be 4 sub-themes. First, new trends, emerging technologies, and innovative teaching pedagogy. Future of education and research in education. Transforming lives and societies, online education. Skilling, reskilling, upskilling, and superskilling. So these were the 4 sub-themes. Based on the sub-theme, you have prepared your paper also. We have received it. The same has been sent for the review. The reviewer has accepted it with some minor correction. It will be published in the conference proceedings, and the proceedings will be available Yeah, over to you, ma'am. Your screen is very much visible. You can just start your audio, make it full screen. Yeah, perfect. Ma'am, just unmute yourself. We could not able to hear you.
Found it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. And then I will go back. Okay. I am Sabrina from Japan. Actually, I submitted the article, but I was not prepared for the presentation. But now I will make presentation. Okay. The title of my presentation is Role of the Supervisor in Scientific Medical Article Writing by University Students. Here, academic English is nobody's first language. And this is my brief bio that I already submitted for the award selection. And I don't want to go in details for this. Actually, I am a researcher, although clinicians that start research from the basic science, that means from gene, cellular level. Then I move to the translational medicine, that the findings in basic research, I translate it to human. And finally, now I work at the global level for the clinical trials, population-based study, and other studies related to human. So this is the brief of my career, but this is a little bit old. So until now, I have published more than 300 articles in international journal, accumulating impact factor more than 600. And also, I have been invited more than 50 times, sometimes as a panelist, and I made more than 400 times presentation in the International Congress. As a non-native academician in Japan, here I talk about my experiences as a researcher, as a supervisor, and the involvement in other educational activities at the Japanese Government Institute's School of Medicine. This is a brief of my ResearchGate profile, but it is a little bit old. You can find the new one if you access it. My presentation covers my educational styles at academic institutes and in parallel global comparison. My major experience while working at Japanese medical institutes and my recommendation. Thoroughly general conditions for the scientific writing. My main perceptions are that we have to thoroughly understand your sources, support everything with evidence, distinguish fact from the possibility, know your audience, never make your readers work harder. So this is the characteristics of a good scientific writing. It should be understandable, straightforward, unbiased, structured logically, precise, and evidence-based. My experiences at university research education, we meet different types of people at university, undergraduate students, masters and doctoral course students, postdoctoral fellow, junior and senior faculties. And I have been involved in several types of research like basic science or animal research, clinical trials conducted with the pharmaceutical company, epidemiological and population-based studies. This is a little bit sequence of the scientific writing that I follow in my teaching, BSc undergraduate, and for MSc and doctorate students. So there should be abstract, introductions, methods, results, and discussion. And what we should do, identify a topic and its importance of research in the field, provide the background and knowledge about the research issue, introduce a context of the literary materials relevant to the topic, define the scope of the review. What we should not do, we should not start writing a term paper in the last minute. We should not cite Wikipedia as a source of information you are using to use in your term paper. We should not start writing immediately after we found the information without structuring a paper. We should not overshoot the word count just because you find a lot of relevant information. How I taught undergraduate and graduate students at a Japanese university level. I conducted group lesson of undergraduate medical students from 3rd grade when they come to visit the laboratory. Not only teaching experiments, we started to talk in English. They practice reading protocol in English. They start reading journals. I teach them from sentence writing and how to write a paper. This group could publish paper in international journal with good impact factor. They attend and present in international conference. They went to visit foreign countries in different biomedical labs. They learned how to submit paper online, how to write cover letter, make referencing based on the journal style, instruction to authors, preparing tables and figures, submission, revision, and finally acceptance. Each student has very everyday task in English, so they don't care about English. We brush up every day the logical sequence of scientific writing. To date, with students, I could publish more than 150 papers in international journals. How a Korean scientific writer thinks. Medical educations must continually develop better teaching approach. Developing higher skills, order thinking skills must be a main goal for the students. More critical thinking oriented classes with a focus on research and publication should be developed. Research proven methods that enhance learning should be used and tailor modified. Students need to be taught various learning methods and studying skills. We need to enhance critical thinking, logical reasoning, and communication skills. So, what is the critical thinking attitudes? Usually, we mean by these critical thinking attitudes are searching the facts, curiosity, doubtful mentality, cognitive maturity, self-confidence, integration, and open-minded. Critical thinking is basically a doubting game where you question your fundamental principles or belief as being possibly wrong, or you question the reliability and truthfulness of your authority figure, or you question the truthfulness of your source of information or facts. What really is a well-written paper? What's even more important? Writing a great paper goes beyond clearly. What makes or breaks a well-written paper is not correct grammar, but a coherent internal structure. In my work with scientists, I focus on developing and examining the structure and the underlying scientific story. I teach scientists to first define what I call the key story elements of a paper and to structure the different paper section based on those key story elements. This foundational work, not being completely free of spelling mistakes, is what makes your paper communicate your findings effectively. Or to turn the argument around, if a paper doesn't tell a clear, concise, and compelling story, it isn't well written, even if the English is very good. Actually, a little bit old slide. I have been closely involved with the Olympic education for the Tokyo Olympic last year. And there we conducted a very short 1.5 year master degree program. And I have a chance to meet many foreign students there. University of Tsukuba has a big master degree program before Olympic. There we teach paper writing, both for native and non-native students. Language is a bit favorable, but writing depends on those base of the students. Most of the students were foreign students, although the students have good knowledge in English, but they don't have the experience on scientific writing. That's why the academic understanding has been much more deep to know science. Of course, better knowledge in English has helped them speedy wording who has in-depth scientific knowledge. Level of English support to many Japanese universities. Here you can see a Japanese pamphlet about brochure. They don't recruit non-native foreigner, even they have native English level. They always recruit non-researcher writer. They recruit non-medical professional, very often use literary English rather than scientific English, does not understand the sequence of paper. Because they are native, they are always employed. A qualified non-native researcher never gets the position. My views on translation of paper written in Japanese to English. Most of the Japanese students at first write paper in Japanese, then they send it to the translation company. But it's very terrible. I have seen many papers where professor asked student to write their paper at first in Japanese, and then they translate it to English through the professional translation company. When the paper comes back, then the translated English in many cases lacks the scientific English. Then I sit with the students and rewrite the paper. Thus, the translation companies also need to restructure their professional activities and business. It's not criticism, my experience as a supervisor in Japan. This vital issue should be taken into consideration in near future. Being a non-native English speaker, it matters less than you think. Based on my 25 years attachment with Japanese academic institutes or universities, I must say that learning scientific writing should be the primary priority. As I said before, being a non-native English speaker matters less than you think when it comes to scientific article writing. Once a manuscript is properly organized, the English can be simply improved by a native English-speaking person, preferably by an author's editor. So for the takeout message is that for proper training of a student about science, methodology, and conduct, it's necessary to make it a part of teaching course. Specialists in the scientific communication are not necessarily language teachers. Scientific communication should be taught as a subject in its own, with English language teaching as a complete separate course. The bottom line is that writing a great paper is a skill that every scientist needs to learn at some point in their career if they want to be successful, regardless of the languages they speak as a native. So in conclusion, I would like to conclude as scientific medical writing should be treated as a separate learning module at academic institute which focus on basic, translational, and clinical sciences. Thank you. Okay, you can ask me any question. I am ready to answer. Sorry, I am not prepared to demonstrate my video yet. Okay.
No, always welcome. We have panelists. Anyone from the participant would like to ask any question? We welcome him. Yeah, Johnson George.
Hello. Excellent presentation, Dr. Sabrina.
Thank you.
I love the concept of scientific writing, and especially in a country where English is not the native language. But I have a question. When the researcher writes it in Japanese, in your example, and then there is a translator who translates it into English, the thought process behind the researcher may get diluted, diminished in the translation process. How do you, counter that, and how do you rectify that?
Actually, I already showed one slide in my presentation, but maybe it was too fast because it's a very sudden presentation. Actually, it's a big issue in Japan. They write paper at first in Japanese, and they send it to the translation company. And the translation company usually hires people who are native, but non-scientific writer, or they don't have the medical base. Okay, so it is horrible experience. What they want to say, and when the paper comes back, when I was employed, just they wanted to reduce my work. That, okay, Sabrina can restructure the paper soon once it is translated in English. But that really burdened me a lot, because I had to understand their each and every sentence of the translation. And in most of the cases, it spoiled a lot of time. And I started to rewrite from the beginning. So it's a big issue in Japan, because Japanese universities have money in many departments, especially the clinical departments, where the medical doctors are engaged in research for their PhD courses. So they usually send it to the translation company, but the feedback is very, very terrible. And I spent a lot of time there to restructure. And that's why even Japan is advanced in technology, financial, they're leading the country, they are all over the world. But if you ask them to write a paper, it's very, very difficult issue. Okay, so and I am not there everywhere. So I have been working with the students whom I could get the supervisory power to supervise. But in Japanese university, most of the data get lost without publishing. So it's a big issue in Japan.
So do you think the artificial intelligence, AI, will solve this problem?
Actually, that I asked my question today, because I have been working at very high level universities in Japan, and mostly at the government university, government institutes, but I have never seen any artificial intelligence implication, even the conversation, discussion, future plan, nothing, still yet.
That's it from me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think all the questions are over from the participant, and the jury members have conveyed their message that yes, you can go for the publication. Your article will be published in the next few days. Maybe it will take 4 to 5 additional days, and by 5th of March, you will receive the final soft copy of the book where your article is being published. Thank you very much, Sabrina. Stay connected.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. It's the credit of our sir, Dr. Pramod Rajput. Yeah. He brought me to the WhatsApp group where I could see your advertisement, everything. So I must acknowledge his contribution and convey my special thanks to him. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Then we have our next participant who is going to present, Baiju Thomas. He's there.
I am ready. I am ready, sir.
Yeah, wow, great. Yeah, you can start. I will just allow you to share your screen. Yeah, you can share your screen. It is allowed. If you are present, anything to present. Yeah.
Okay, good morning to all of you present here. I am Father Baiju Thomas. I am doing my PhD in Special Education, Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda and Education Institute, and Faculty of Disability Management, Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. My topic is that adaptation of e-learning, a panacea in the time of COVID-19 outbreak throughout the world. Introduction. Education is vital to nations. Vital to nations, and the education system has evolved to keep pace with the technical advantages. Teachers can teach virtually skills and information isolation from their office methods. E-learning has taken the place of face-to-face instruction due to COVID-19. E-learning is a suitable alternative classroom instruction for various reasons, including its lack of competence and shoddy design. Teachers in virtual educational intervention must enhance their subject matter, operational competence, and clarity. E-learning has its good and bad sides. According to some academics, the benefits of e-learning includes the ability to learn at any time, from any location, and at a low cost. The expansion of COVID-19 has made it nearly impossible to get into schools worldwide. The impact of COVID-19 outbreak on education sector. COVID-19 continues to make its way through the world. As the explosion progressed, Chinese inhabitants and even took place in China, and they were the first ones to report on it. When everything had said and done, COVID-19 had a significant impact on world economics. E-learning is causing a shutdown of many schools and colleges across the world. No one can say for sure yet what effect COVID-19 will be on how students taught and educated. E-learning during the COVID-19 pandemic is the focus of this study. Therefore, teaching and learning have become increasingly dependent on digital resources. The concept of e-learning model. E-learning can help with customized innovation and adaptation. Students' participation in online learning via various internet-enabled devices is another e-learner. E-learning is adventurous to students. They are free to learn at their own pace and community with professors and other students on open platform at the same time. E-learning platforms are not built to adapt fast. Instead of face-to-face classes, various academic outlets and channels are used. E-learning or on-campus education will require students from the state's lowest families during the COVID-19. Due to socio-economic barrier, e-learning is not achieving its full competence globally. The role of teacher in adapting e-learning. E-learning is used in classroom by two students, those who prefer it and those who do not. Teachers frequently upload their work online because of its risk. Students and teachers' interests must be considered when teaching in a small number. Other hidden costs must be taken into account as e-learning becomes more accessible. The e-learning system allows teachers to employ more effective teaching tactics, but they must also conscious of evaluating their students' productivity and involvement levels. E-learning is more effective for teachers when they do not have to carry out burden of being expert and empowered by their students' personal experience. Conclusion. In the event of a pandemic, e-learning has proven to be beneficial. The policy negatively impacts academic growth and achievement. It is difficult for teachers in virtual classroom to explain themselves when asked open-ended regarding specific abilities. As soon as the risk of COVID-19 is no longer a concern, this method will be employed. Challenges must be addressed even before e-learning becomes mainstream in today's culture. When e-learning programs were first introduced, they were viewed as a last-minute addition to the education process. E-learning would be benefit from new teaching methods like flipped classes and case studies. Educators are using e-learning more broadly ever before due to COVID-19 pandemic throughout the world. Thank you. Thank you for chance giving me to present my paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Francis Baiju Thomas. So great presentation. We acknowledge your efforts also. It's what you call one of the best original write-up what we have submitted. We got various types of articles in due course. Almost 65 articles we have got it, and out of that only 3 we have finalized it and 3 people are going to present here. So you are one of them. We appreciate
sir.
your efforts and your concern. Yes, e-learning should be adopted by each person and should be taken due diligence to adopt it and implement at their level. Thank you very much. Any questions from the participants? Yeah, over to you, sir.
Sorry. Good
Welcome.
afternoon, Mother Baiju, and
Thank you, sir.
excellent information on the online disadvantages that you just shared. I have only a question right now. Now that the classes have shifted to the offline mode or in-person mode,
Yes.
there is a kind of a, this thing that people don't want to go back. The students
Yes.
don't want to go back. The teachers don't want to go back. They've gotten used to this 2 years of online training. So how does that now change? How will that change take place effectively? The second one is the teaching pedagogy in the online mode, where the teacher themselves does not understand the mind of the student, the attentiveness of the student in an online mode, the way it was in an in-person mode. So how are these two areas taken care of?
Sir, the first one is because we know that the last 2 years, the students and teachers were at home and they were engaged in e-learning. So, teachers asked to make aware of the students that because we know that all the things we cannot teach in the e-learning because the science subject and all, some practical issues. So very difficult. So that we need face-to-face learning. So the teachers has to take their initiative to make understand the students and start the offline. That is the one. And also we can continue the e-learning online. That will be very helpful for the students also because to get knowledge from the border level in a comprehensive level, we can use this e-learning also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What we have seen a great presentation, good type of presentation from a morning by Sabrina ma'am, from Francis Baiju Thomas. It's really a great thing to see. Everything is recorded and definitely we'll post everything on social media so that people will, those who are absent here for the day, they can take it ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Baiju sir. Now we have Dr. Priya Trivedi with us. She's going to present her presentation. Dr. Priya Trivedi, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sharing my screen, sir.
Sure.
My screen is visible? My PPT is visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning to all of you, all the respected member here. And Johnson sir has rightly asked two questions. And I think in my presentation, may I justify that questions? Yeah, due to the COVID-19, there are so many changes and we came to the offline online platform. Previously, we were in the online platform and now we are in the offline mode. But is it possible to immediately transfer from offline to online or online to offline? For this, one more concept is there, which is known as the blended learning. This is a hybrid and an effective model or a tool of learning. What is that? It refers to the educational practices of the blending digital learning resources, whatever the resources which are present with the teachers, which was previously present as that in the traditional form. But due to the COVID-19, in the last past 2-3 years, now we came to the digital learning and all the material which were present with the teachers, maybe for the primary section, for the secondary section, or for the higher education. Now we have moved to the online and digital learning. All the resources have been there at the digital platform and having online. So with more traditional, that is face-to-face classroom instruction, and both the students and teachers should be in the same physical place in a real blended learning environment. Actually, it is a hybrid mode, means we are coming to the face-to-face learning as well as we are also coming to the digital platform, and this is known as the blended learning, which can be now effective tool to learn more by the students. Despite of this, the students should be able to use the digital tools also, because now we are used, even the students are used of the digital platform. So this is blended learning is the pack or the topics, whatever the topics are there for the learning. It is the teaching and the learning technique that blends face-to-face classroom approaches with the computer mediator activities in order to offer the instruction. And before each lessons, the teacher has to prepare videos, lectures, recordings, articles, and this can be done through the face-to-face learning or can be given prior to the students to understand the concept. This also allows the teachers to spend more time in the classroom because already the material has been given to the students to study. And this can be the supportive system for the students to learn more about the concept, more about the chapters, whatever she is going to make understand. And through the activities, they can have a good conversation and discussions. Talking about the definition of the blended learning is the approach learning that combines face-to-face and the online teaching learning experience. Ideally online and offline, and it is the combination of the both. Now, the question is that how the human and the technology can be combined and can make attractive learning. So what is the role of the human? What it is actually doing, what the teacher is actually doing when he is teaching traditional, and what the technology or the online teaching is doing when the teacher is making learning all the students through the technology. So this is some few points related to the same. If human or the traditional teaching is there, we can motivate the student, we can personalize each and every student. A teacher can give or take the feedback immediately. Fluency and listening can be more effective. Relevance are there, and the most important is discipline there, which is mostly lacking in the online classes. But now the students are used to with the online also. Now he want to sit in the comfort zone at his own place and want to learn. So what technology came after the COVID-19 and what the teaching process have come and what benefits we are getting from this. So it comes to the mobility actually, because wherever he is there, he can learn. And he don't want to go to school. Structure based learning is there, tracking is there, control can be maintained. Self-study students can do if already given the material to the students prior to the teaching. Reduce the cost, yes, buses cost and everything, is the sitting is there at the home, he is learning, many things has been reduced. And the most important thing is global search or global research, because he is continuously connecting to the different types of students of all the countries and he can interact directly. Now, what is the difference between the classroom learning and the online learning? As already mentioned before slide, what is the difference between human and technology? This is the same based on same concept. In classroom learning, motivation is there, one-to-one feedback is there, personal time we can give, counseling we can do if students is not doing, which is lacking in the online classes. Progress tracking can be immediately we can done. Guidance we can give, assessments and practices are done in the traditional and can be tracked immediately if students is not learning. In online learning, self-study given more priority because the students take the मतलब उसको ज़्यादा time मिलता है, mobility is there, self-direction is there, online assessments can be done very effectively, but the only thing is students won't cheat. The group chats can be done and discussions can be more effective in the online learning. This in blended learning, we are focusing on the virtual learning platform. We can inquire the project-based learning, which can be a very effective. Yes, technology integrated learning is there in the blended learning. Global connection is there. We are more globally closed. Game-based learning is more effective in the blended learning, and students are taking interest in that. Even the primary section students are now used to the online sectors and online learning, and they are more active in online learning. Direct instructions can be given, both because actually blended learning is a hybrid learning, and it is the combination of both face-to-face and classrooms and technology online. Peer-to-peer coachings are there. They can interact, all the students and classmates can interact with each other. We can more focus on the masteries. So these are some few points we can focus by the blended learning or the hybrid learning. What are the models of the blended learning? These are few I have taken, and I'm going to explain a few of them. Rotational model, face-to-face driver, online driver, enrich the virtual models, flex learning model, flipped classroom model, project-based learning model, inside-out learning model, and outside-in learning model. These are few models which have been explained in blended learning. First is face-to-face driver, which is actually the traditional. But when we are talking about the blended learning, so what is happening? Online students, like we have also seen that 50% capacity we are accumulating for the learning or in the schools. So students, few are sitting at home and was learning online, and few students were there at the offline classes. So both can be managed through the face-to-face driver. Secondly was the flex. The majority of the curriculum was delivered via the online instructions with the teachers, and then the by the face-to-face facilitation, the teacher was giving the instruction and the support. Many of the text messages, many of the content was given via messages, and many of the projects were given, many of the questions were given to the students through the text, to the online, and the students were asked to complete the syllabus or their assignments or their project, and they have to submit offline. Rotational, yes, rotational means the students rotate through the schedule stations. Face-to-face learning was also there, practical activity was there, and as well as he was dependent on the online studies also. Both the methods were applied by the teacher through the blended learning. Online labs, this was the major thing because 11th, 12th or the higher education, labs were the important part, activities was important part, and many videos were made by the higher education teachers, faculties, learners, lecturers. Even in the 11th, 12th, the practicals were already video were made through them, and they were delivered to the students. And after when they have seen all the videos, all the lab practicals, they were entertained in the schools for doing the practicals, maintaining the physical distance. So, the digital platform was supervising all these things. Next was the online driver. Students work through the curriculum from the remote locations also, or they were all instruction given to the online platform, and all the courses or the curriculum was given, and it was also taken by the teachers time to time. Flipped approach, this is the last approach. Preparation materials were given, activity were given, and through online, all the students have enjoyed it. Post-class assignments, which already I have discussed, it was given, means both the hybrid mode, online as well as offline work, we can now also can continue both the learning teaching process. So this was all about the model. Now we comes to the advantages and disadvantages. There are so many advantages and the little disadvantages. I am discussing few of them. In advantages, if we talk about the blended learning, it allows the experiment with the learning style, uses interactive media to enhance the learning, online modules supplement lectures, and unaffected by the geography and the time, because all the globe in the all the global, the time manage we can do, and we can teach online all the students at a time. And this is the most effective method models which we can apply right now also after the COVID-19, when the offline classes has been started. And only the disadvantages that we have to develop some courses which can be effective for all the age group or all the students which are not good at the studies, means all the level students we have to maintain the courses, because online is not equal for all the students to understand the concept. There are few students who are average students, they can understand little, but those who are below the average, it is very difficult for them to understand the online. So we have to design some curriculum like that, all the students level can understand the online as well as the offline. Yes, secondly is the costly of the softwares and hardware. Like Zoom and Google Meet and all the online, it is easy. YouTube, we are preparing the videos, that is having no cost or a little cost. But if we are going for the higher method or good presentations or good videos, we have to cost a lot. So this is the major disadvantage of blended learning, and no everybody can't afford it. So we have to means we have to improve this part, softwares and hardwares. Yes, increases the teacher's workload, because online and offline, if teacher is connecting to the students and planning for offline activities as well as online activities, so it is very difficult for teachers to maintain the time. And actually I am the teacher, I am the faculty. In last 2 years, 3 years, we are working 24/7, because we are having the ample of time. If we don't have time in morning, we are taking lecture in evening. If we don't have evening, we are taking lecture in night, even in night. So students are more connected to the mobile. They are asking again and again questions for the practicals, for the assignment. Previously interactions was there to the limited time, 8 hours, 9 hours. When the school is over, no, students are continuously talking to the teachers and calling them for the small things. But now the platform is so expanded, now each and every student is now frank and freely talks to the teacher whenever he needs. So teachers workload is increased through this offline and online teaching. So we have to make some checkouts कि जो timings है वो teachers का workload कम करे. Increasing the students consecutive load, yes, because he is just confused by attending both offline and online. Teachers which are preparing the assignments, they are giving more more assignments workload to the students. They have even the students have the workload or the assignments works more, because he also want to see more and more videos for the same lectures or same chapter. So obviously the load has been increased both due to the both online and offline, and we have to reduce. This is some major which I have already explained, advantage and disadvantage. I will come to the conclusion that thus, yes, this newest concept in the teaching and learning process in blending learning this is really a newest, and we have to adapt it. Secondly, educational system is attempting to a new technology and explore the new avenue, and it will be helpful to achieve the aim of providing all the students with high quality educational opportunities. E-learning is increasing, being used to describe how it is combined with traditional classroom method and individual study to produce a new hybrid teaching methodology. Blended learning is a method of providing creative educational solutions for the instructors, trainers, and students by combining traditional classroom instruction with mobile learning and online activities. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just for a moment.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. It was a good presentation. Just one question regarding the flipped classrooms.
Yeah.
Because the flipped classroom, it is one of the latest methodology just being introduced before the COVID. Because it can be used very effectively in a classroom situation. Like flip the classroom, it is like you send the materials, what you're going to teach. Maybe tomorrow you send it 2 days before, at least to all the students through WhatsApp or through mail, so that they can have a look at it, so that when we come for the real class, it saves time.
Yeah.
And we can just do more of the activities. Like my question will be, how will a teacher be able to do in a blended learning this flipped classroom? Like so it is going to be a little challenge. Okay, they have to deal with the classroom as well as those offline. Like, so how is it
Yes, sir.
possible?
It can be done. Actually, now we are used to with the online and offline both. Even the students are very used to with this. Means, yes, previously we were thinking how the teacher will able to adapt the online. In last 1 year or last 2 years, now all the teachers, it was a challenge, but we have adapted, we have learned it. Even the teachers who were very elder, even they have learned the online classes and smartly teaches in the class. Now we are coming again to the offline classes, but the students are now very relaxed. This time we are having the offline exams also, and students are scared. Even the one time was came that 50% capacity the students have to teachers have to teach in the classes. So 2 days he was teaching through his home, and 2 days or 3 days he was teaching from the schools, and he has to maintain both online and offline classes. Yes, that was a challenge, but what I thought, even that was a challenge for me, but I have accepted. We all have accepted who were the educators, and we have given such assignments which can be easily can be presented by the students. Because previously, one thing in traditional classroom, it was difficult for the students to to explain their concept. But through the online teaching, this came ki students are now more interactive, they can explain to the activities. Because for explaining them also, we have to prepare so many things, even the charts, even the videos now, and you can think ki even I have asked so many things to the students also कि बताओ ये वीडियो कैसे बनता है, ये कैसे होता है. Many times we have take the help of the students. So it was easy for them to, or it is actually easy when we are flipping the learning, because it is now in a continuous process we are giving assignments or activities and students are responding to us. Even if we are taking offline and online, we have taken offline, means I am explaining them through the online, students are sitting in front of me, as well as they are connected to the online also. So they have given a good interaction with the teacher, what I thought, sir. And we can maintain it if we are giving assignments and practical material or the theory material in the prior. They are more, now concentrating on the self study. They are preparing, they are learning, and they are giving response to the teachers. So it will help. It is also helping to the teachers also to conduct both the ways, hybrid mode in a better way. because now the students are used to with this blended learning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have a
Yeah.
Dr. Priya, you very well dissected the hybrid mode.
Thank
So
you, sir.
beautifully put it across. And I just have one question on this. That, the high dependence of IT infrastructure, okay, especially when it comes to record maintenance. Like, for example, you have answer papers coming in a PDF form and so on and so forth. Most of the institutions are not prepared for this. It's lying in each one's Google Drive or someone's personal drive, etc. So when it comes to confidentiality, when it comes to these matters, how is the hybrid mode ready to tackle this? The second point is, in order to have this infrastructure, how are the institutions ready to bear the cost of such infrastructure? Because raising the fees is not the answer. So how is this taken care of?
Yes, sir. Very good question, sir. The answer is that like many due to this online classes, much other जो aspects of money tha, like traveling charges, like food charges, mess charges, it is reduced in the school, and that can be utilized in the IT sectors or in the softwares to maintain this confidential part, because parents did not want ki there should be hike in the fees. So how they will maintain, na? And even they are taking so much in many schools, CBSE schools, they are taking lots of money. Physical activity was reduced. That was a major drawback. Now we are coming to the offline, but we have to make the equilibrium in both, and we have to like many right now abhi bhi bahut jagah pe buses facilities and many other facilities are less. So wo maintain karke we have to come to the softwares. In IT sectors we have to give. Even the second thing which it is interesting I have came in mind, like students which are in IT sectors, they are going for the startups, right? So for them also it is a challenge ki they have to prepare few startups in this IT sectors, and so few softwares which are having the low cost and can be they can maintain the confidential thing of assignments and exams which we are taking and PDFs and all that. In many of the schools also, like they are using the Google platform, and what they are doing ki they that platform is totally in the hand of the school. Even the students can't see what the marks and what the assignment, and it is actually personalized with each and individual students only. Matlab jo students they have created the mails, it can be happen in the metro cities and cities, difficult for the remote areas and in government schools. But if we are providing softwares to them with the low cost with the IT sectors, because in many cases in some some amount has been reduced for something, so we can give more emphasis on the softwares with the low cost. This can be done in my view.
Okay, thank you.
I think you are satisfied.
Yeah. Good. Thank you, Dr. Kurzera, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Now we have the last presentation from the participant. Now we have Dr. Kannamanai and her colleague S. Sujatha. S. Sujatha is there.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Splendid afternoon to one and all present here.
Yeah.
Shall I say?
You
Shall I
have
share
5
my?
minutes to. You have having 5 minutes to complete. So.
Okay. So splendid afternoon to one all are present here. I'm Sujita of First BCom with Banking and Insurance. I'm the co-author, and on behalf of my author, Dr. B. Kannamai, Associate Professor, KPO College of Arts, Science and Research, I'm going to present the paper. First of all, I want to share why I have chosen this paper. I've chosen this paper is to empower the young minds by implementing skilling techniques and to spread awareness among the students and also as well as the employees about the skilling, reskilling, upskilling, and also the super skilling. I'm going to start with a great quote that is, education is not only the learning of facts, but also tutoring the mind to ponder and explore furthermore. So I think this quote suits for our topic. Actually, the COVID-19 pandemic has stimulated a drastic change in unemployment, and also the unemployment has skyrocketed, and the education system was collapsed like anything. There's no doubt in this. And also, in this competitive world, one can fight only with his or her knowledge only. So it can upstand with upskilling, reskilling, and also the super skilling. It also uphold for students to explore and expand their knowledge. In this business world, education and technology are only the keys to be successful magnet, and the employees are expecting incentives with better salary, and the business organization is looking forward with curiosity for an excellent employee, and this both can be connected by only up-to-date technology and skilling techniques. I'm going to share what is meant by skilling. Skilling is a learned ability which is developed from an actual training or practice and an experienced knowledge. It is an ability to use one's knowledge in a fruitful manner. Actually, a talented person can enhance the capability of an individual. The skilling gives a strong basement in critical thinking, proper way of communication, problem solving, and also it promotes leadership. Types of skilling is transferable or functional skills, personal traits or attitude, and also the knowledge-based skills. Transferable skills are nothing but it is a set of skills and abilities which can be applied to a broad spectrum of different jobs in a business industries. And the personal traits is used to explore the quality, behavior, and character of an individual. And also the knowledge-based skills, it is acquired through only the education. It is also called as a hard skill. Like it is a practice to inculcate the specific subject for information to perform the specific tasks. Next, I go upon with upskilling. Upskilling allows employees to progress to the next level, but in the current job only, with a better skill set of these techniques. Skilling is this upskilling can be used to a owner or employee a lot, because while to pick up a new employees, because it preserves the time simultaneously for a selection procedures. It is the most useful in workplace that the employees may want to turn something on their workforce to obtain the new skills and eventually enabling the employees to grow in their current position. The employee's upskilling talent is a reward for an employer. Thus, he or she don't want to any more time, need time to surfing another worker to take another some work. If a person is thinking of a course which want to be more beneficial and simultaneously to attain the rudiment knowledge of a particular topic in the sense, then it is a right choice. Then upskilling is a right choice to pick out of the short courses. For instance, professional training and short online courses like Alizin, Udemy, NPTEL, Elements of AI, European Academy. These things stand as a ladder for one's future to be fruitful. The properties of short online courses is an acquisition of flexibility, time management with skill development and affordability. With the help of upskilling, an organization need not to be recruit out of border to charge the gap of skills. Next, I go up on reskilling. Reskilling means people with skills that are next door to new skills that a company in need of. Reskilling is used to implement the new skills with the existing skills to propose a different business organization. Reskilling is entirely different from upskilling, where reskilling is another track that it helps to obtain knowledge to a person who want to be successful in another stream than his or her current position. By appointing the skilled employees, the reputation of a company can level up with the respected skill set of an employee. In this modern world, people with skill weightage are getting nominated or and referenced foremost than the normal skilled person. And it is one of the best stimulating methods for an individual to learn the new skills. And the final is super skilling. Super skilling is a kind of skilling which enables an individual person as a one step ahead from any other skilling techniques. Actually, there is no surprise that an employee who have enrolled this his or her super skilling will be honored with a sufficient salary package than the normal unskilled worker. When one is able to answer the question with perfection in an interview or a placement session like anything, then know that the person is engaged with super skilling, and he also know how to handle the ensuing tasks like critical thinking, complex problem solving, astonishing intelligence, better coordination with others, decision making. Actually, these all are the scarcities which every companies are fighting with. Developing and enriching the knowledge with super skilling day by day, it leads to be an excellent employee. And conclusion, as a result of the pandemic situation, the rate of unemployment have shoot up with a true statement that there is no job security nowadays. So learning new skill is mandatory for people to safeguard their job, and corporate industries welcoming a fascinated employee with the astonishing creative young nation. Once you stop learning, then you start begin dying. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sujita ma'am. One of the best presentation. We'll say we wish to give you a best student award also, if possible. Yeah, but really we admire your efforts. You have done a great job, good type of writing, and presentation was really excellent. Thank you very much. Convey our regards to Kannamalai madam also. A good type of presentation there. Thank you very much. Any question from the participants?
I have one question. Yes, yes. I would like to know if there are any evidences you generated, which type of skill works the best. If you have any evidence.
Sujita madam, have you able to understand the question? There are 4 types: skilling, super skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. So which one is the best to adopt?
Actually, ma'am, there is no doubt in this. Super skilling is a best skilling because it's totally different from another skillings.
Wow, good. But generally, what happens? Super skilling means super specialization. Subrina madam is also a super skilled, super specialized person in the field of medical industry. Thank you very much for being with us. It's really matters a lot. But in some countries, skilling is more important because people are there, underskilled are there, unskilled are there, not properly skilled are there. So skilling is important. But those who are skilled up to some extent, there are certain graduation and undergraduation programs which give you the certain types of skills, but which are not relevant or related to the what is required by the industry. So in that case, we required a reskilling or upskilling. and you're already a super skill. All the participants here, they are super skilled person. We welcome you and thank you for being with us. Now it's almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours already passed. If any question from the participant, we welcome
Yeah, one question actually, ma'am, it was a good presentation. Just one question, like, do you think the companies have to focus more on upskilling their employees, which would really benefit them? Like, because whereas leaving it to the employees to do on their own, yes, I would agree, at least, yes, it's needed, but whereas the companies, do you think it is they have to focus more on this in the days to come?
So people with just skilled or need to be extra skill.
I think
So if a person is only skilled in the sense,
there is some connection issue.
Yes.
Yeah. The question is very clear that those company who are recruiting people, their reskilling or upskilling is necessary or not. Because certain people, they stay with the company for years together and follow the same guideline and philosophy what they understand on a day one. And that will sometimes kills the entire ecosystem also, and sometimes it helps also. If he is a watchman, then definitely it helps. But if he's in a creative or a graphic department, or he is into marketing, or he is into finance, or in the core department, definitely it will. They require upskilling and reskilling themselves. We fully agree with you, sir. Jaikar, sir. Sunita madam, Sujita madam, you have anything to say?
I would like to add, sir, one thing
Yeah.
that is in time of pandemic, how companies may think that they need to change something for their skilling, gradation or upgradation or retraining or training. I will ask anyone who can answer the questions.
Yeah, Johnson sir, or anyone who could answer that. In the pandemic, how we should survive?
Yes, because she started her presentation with pandemic, so it's a very relevant issue to connect with pandemic. Okay.
Over to Jaikar sir.
It is actually possible now, okay, because the one of the areas I think it is the pandemic has exposed, it is the skills.
Yes.
Actually, we found out actually in any company, like whether it is an institution or even the companies, now they look for people who need, who has to be really skilled. Okay, because this pandemic has, I would say, like, from my personal experience, like, so it has exposed it very much. So it has now made a differentiation between a skilled and unskilled worker. Like a skilled worker was able to get through these pandemic relatively and easily, like because the one who is ready, willing and willing to upskill themselves and not sticking to one alone, like say for example, like the one who is working in one particular department, he can't like survive saying like, okay, I'm happy with my job or I'm happy with the way in the department where I work. They need to upgrade themselves, like so that comes a place now, like the person who is ready to upskill themselves or whatever like possible, like so they need to look at the other areas as well, so that that would help the person to really, like even if they want to choose a better career, like if let's say this department or this being affected during the pandemic, or he or she should look for other areas or other department or other job prospects that would enable that person to advance in the career. So that in that, at least that one of the main things I would say, like it is the skill has come into play, like so that is why I wanted to, just, the companies also, like they can invest, if they can invest in their employees, like, upskilling, it would really benefit because that's one of, I have, because see, I would say from my own personal experience, even though I'm a language teacher, so I have not restricted myself, like, I've explored even into the management side, and I, did a lot of skills on, like, management and administration. So to get, so that will keep us, like, also get to know the better, and also prepare myself, like in the days to come, like, you never know, because this, we are living in an uncertainty period, like, you never know what will happen the next day. So I need to be prepared in whatever possible way, like, so that way I would say, like, that is, yes, pandemic was a challenge, but thanks to this, like, the online portals, which has, enabled us to explore, okay, of course, upskill many. So that is, actually it is a blessing. Okay, before, at least, because of workload, we were not able to explore some things. Like now we are, from the comfort of our houses, at least, we have time, and we can at least utilize these time, at least, in a best possible way, like,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I think, Sujita, you did a wonderful presentation, and you touched the very nerve of the thing about skilling, reskilling, upskilling, and super skilling. From my experience in the service industry, especially in the airline industry, and in other areas, cross skilling is very important here. For example, if you notice in an airline industry, the same person is able to do a check-in, to do a reservation, to do flight handling operations, all of them. So this cross-skilling is very important today, mainly because industries are looking at agility. How agile are you in handling situation, whether it's a pandemic or an epidemic or another disaster or a riot or whatever it is? How quick are you to handle a particular situation? Quick thinking, critical thinking, as Sujita rightly mentioned in her presentation, that is the key. So it can cover any kind of such kind of outages. No? Whether it can be a major networking issue, it can be a riot, it can be anything. Now it's a war situation. How do you get out of it? That critical thinking, agility is what is needed. And for this, what is important is the participation of industry and the academicians. The industry and educational department should work hand in hand. Only then can they prepare. For example, now Sujita presented it as a student. Okay, so there is one skill that she has done across the board. So similarly, industries and the academic group should collaborate and prepare the students even before they can join the industry, so that they are ready. Otherwise, today what is happening? Industries is wasting time in retraining the persons. Then comes the upskilling and reskilling and all of the other things. That's my take. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I agree with you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. A new word which we learned from Johnson, sir, that is big skilling. Yes, we require that. Along with all types of skilling, we should have the mixed skilling also. If you are joining any industry, that time you should handle the office also. You have to handle your boss. You have to handle the production. You have to handle the multiple stages of the entire ecosystem. Thank you, Johnson George, for giving your insights on the same subject. Thank you very much. Now coming to the end of today's session presentations, we have selected only 4 papers for the day for the conference. Thank you very much for being with us. Stay connected, stay safe. During pandemic also, we are able to find out the way, and we are connected with each other. We have conducted such a beautiful program. Guest of honor, Dr. Sorry, Mr. Jaikar Sairaj, thank you very much for being with us. Johnson George, thank you very much. Sabrina ma'am, thank you very much. Dr. Priya Trivedi, thank you very much. Dr. P.K. Rajput and all the other participants, thank you very much for the day. So with the permission from guest of honors and participants, shall I end the meeting?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's stay connected, stay safe. Yeah, I'm ending.